Hey everybody, welcome to Kiki Loves Nigeria. How's everybody doing on this? Was it cold today? Yeah, it was cold. It was cold and it was wet. I don't know about where y'all from, but it here in Ohio, in Dayton, Ohio, it was cold and it was wet. So I hope everybody's having a wonderful Saturday. I hope everybody's getting ready for Christmas. Whoever celebrates Christmas, who don't celebrate Christmas, like my son say, we celebrate the spirit of Christmas, the gratitude of it, the gift giving of it. So tonight we're going to talk about who are the wannabe land scammers, YouTube land scammers, and the game. Okay, but let's back up a little bit so I can introduce myself for those who don't know me, because every week we get new people. I know I get new subscribers, and I want to let those people know who I am. My name is Kiki Loves Nigeria. I am from Dayton, Ohio. My background is in research, qualitative research. I can do quantitative research also, but my favorite type of research is qualitative research. Okay. I have a master's in education and I have a master's in public administration. So, what are we talking about tonight? Like I said, tonight we're going to talk about who are the YouTube wannabe land scammers in the Gambia, and why are we talking about this subject? Well, unbeknownst to me, I didn't realize this land scamming was a big problem in the Gambia. It's not only in the Gambia, it's a big problem in the United States. It's a big problem everywhere. So, for the Gambia, for the repats interested in going there, they're really concerned about this issue. And, I got several requests to do research this topic. Well, hey, Gambia and Chef. Oh, God, I'm so happy to see you guys. How you been? Oh, my goodness. How you guys been? I hope you guys been good. I missed you guys. I think about you guys. I still watch your channel. Yep, I get recipes from there all the time. I'm sorry, you guys, but I see some old people that know me from way, way, way back. I'm so glad you guys are here. So I'm sorry, I got off track. I know Mr. Foreman, he doesn't like when I do that. So let me stay on track. Hello, Anonymous. So I got to stay on track because Mr. Foreman will be on here telling me, Kiki, I'm not here for that. So let me keep going. But I'm so glad to see you guys. So, yeah, let me go back. We were talking about this subject. So I kept getting requests. They wanted me to look at this topic. I didn't really want to look at it because I felt like it had been researched enough. People have been talked about it enough. It was like, okay, what more did I add to this topic? So many people had talked about it. So many people know who the land scammers are. So I'm like, okay, what can I do? I remember Mr. Paul Williams asked me to do this topic. And I told him the same thing. I don't think I could add anything else to it because it's already been like researched to extinction. But then I thought, no, there's always a different way to look at the same topic, the same issue. There's always a different way to look at it. So I got another email, and this person, I don't know if she wants me to mention her name, but if she tells me it's okay to mention her name, I will. But until then, I'm just going to keep her kind of her name anonymous. So she, not you anonymous, but another anonymous. So she said the same thing. She asked me to research this topic again. It was like 6 different people who had asked me to research this topic. So I said, okay. So we talked about last week. We did a different perspective. Okay, we looked at it totally different. First, we looked at the real estate people, the real estate companies, the licensed people. Because remember, we were talking about, make sure people were licensed. Well, we see in this issue, having a license really didn't matter because the people who were facing criminal charges had license. They were licensed real estate companies in the Gambia. So it doesn't really matter. if you're licensed. What matters is if you're an ethical person. And that's what we're dealing with here. Are you an ethical person? Can you be trusted? Can you be trusted? And the way you can tell if somebody is ethical is by their background. Simple background. What have they done? Humans are creatures of habit. They do the same thing over and over and over again. If you see a change in their habit, then something has changed. Either they've grown in some type of way, they've gotten some type of level of education, or they've grown spiritually. Because you don't have to get it at, go to school formally. You can grow spiritually, and that raises you to a different level. And when people rise to a different level, then they change. You can notice a change in their behavior, but that change is consistent. You see what I'm saying? So it's not a fraudulent change. So that's what you pay attention to. Those are the characters you have to pay attention to when you're dealing with people who sell you land. That's what I'm realizing, and that's what I'm seeing. Hey, real Africana, how you doing? So that's what I'm really seeing from this research here. That it doesn't matter how big the company, how big the company is, how good the reputation is. What really matters here is what is that person like on the inside? What will money do to that person? So, I remember when I was in graduate school and we were working and we were talking. It was me and some other graduate students. And we were and they turned to me and they said, "What's your price?" And I was shocked. I'm telling y'all, I was shocked when they just turned to me and said, "What's your price?" And I said, "What price?" They said, "Your price, your price." I said, "No, I don't know. What you mean, my price?" So they explained to me, these were two Caucasians. They explained to me that everyone has a price. Everyone has a point where they sell all morality, they sell all ethical practices for that mean green dollar. These people believe that everyone had that price. I looked at them. I was shocked, for one, that they thought like this. Okay. Number two, I was even more shocked that they thought I thought like that, because everybody who knows me, they know I'm the most moral person that you could ever be around. That was so offensive to me. But they didn't know me. They just knew me from graduate school. They knew me from working in graduate school. We worked at a center together. So they didn't really know me personally. They just knew me from that environment. So in that environment, I guess to them in that environment, everyone had a price, but I had no price. I had no price. And I guess that's why, I've had to travel a different route to get where I need to go. But I'd rather travel the less traveled route, the route that's the least traveled, than the most popular route, if that means I have to compromise my soul and sell who I am as a person. And that's what I was asked to do so many times. And I said, no, I refuse. So these people I see don't refuse. Okay. They don't refuse. It becomes the greed. It becomes their survival. And that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. So the same thinking, the same mentality that was going on with these real estate companies is going on with these same YouTube companies. Okay. Well, they're not even companies. That's why I call them wannabe land scammers. Because to be a land scammer, by pure definition of the word, you have to own the land. You got to have the titles to the land. You have to be the one that signs off on the papers, not the agent, not the project developer, the person who owns that land. And from what I can see, I don't see any YouTube people who own land that are selling it. I know there is this controversy with Blacks that owning land and selling land. I know that controversy. but I have to research her a little bit more. Blackset is a lot of information about these people, but I can't really tell if this is, this is why I didn't really want to do this, because, from what I've been seeing, Blackset is an agent. She's an real estate agent, okay? And maybe sometimes she pretends like she owns land, but she does not own, from what I've seen so far. Now remember, I got to get to the stuff, but what I've seen so far, this woman is an agent, okay? And people are buying. She gets the commission from when the deal is complete. This is from what I've been seeing so far, and from all of these people that we've seen on YouTube. Okay, I did see some kind of I don't know, it was some kind of purchase or something, but I couldn't see it. I couldn't read it. I needed to read it to see what it actually said before I could really determine whether this was a receipt for her selling land, or was it a receipt for her being a real estate agent. I couldn't see it, so I couldn't tell. I couldn't say one way or the other. I just know I seen something that had her name, her company on it, and the person said it was a sale, real estate receipt sale, that she sold them land, but I couldn't read the fine print. I couldn't read the dates. I couldn't read what the transaction was about. I couldn't read any of that. So without really seeing that, I couldn't make that determination. And you guys know I'm not going to come here and give you guys false information, because that's what's wrong in our community right now. That's always been the case in our community. We get false information, false, misleading information that takes us down the wrong path. Now, the last person who contacted me, she said that. She said, is this woman a scammer, or is she just unprofessional? Is she just unprofessional? And when she said, is she just unprofessional, I really started thinking, and I'm thinking, you know what? Maybe that's what I see too, that she's unprofessional. Because, like I said, to scam me out of land, you have to own that land. You have to own that land, or you have to be pretending like you own that land, okay? Pretending like you own, that you hold the documents on that land. And some people have said that's what she's done. But when you get to the details, I haven't found the details yet. I haven't found the details. Even I haven't gotten to the class action lawsuit yet. I know there's a class action lawsuit, but I got to get to there, because I don't want to go by what someone else said. That's not research. That's reading the news or reading the book. So I can't do that. I got to go and I got to see what the sources say about this issue. I mean, what really happened. So I got to take my time and do that. So now that I'm on break, I can do that. I can, take my time and go through the video, because I know a lot of people really want to know about this, because there's claimed to be all these people. And I was watching this video about all these people who say they've lost money, from her by dealing with her. But like I said, and just like when we were doing the research on the crazy boy who passed, if all of these people have lost money, why didn't these people go to the officials? Why didn't these people go to the police in the Gambia, just like Travel with Tay Tay did? She went to the police. She filed charges against Quasi. Even though the charges were dismissed, said they were unfounded, she felt like she was a victim, and she went there and she did that. If you feel like you are a victim, this is what you do. Even though it took her a year to do it, even though we had to put the heat on her, even though we had to give her the research and show her we know what really happened, even though we know she was mad at us because we was laughing at her, because we knew the boyfriend did it. We knew the boyfriend did. Or either we knew the boyfriend was in on it, and she was mad at us and she took it out on Quasi. We know that's what happened. We know that's what happened, because that's why it took her a whole year to file the charges, because the complaints. Because if I'm wronged, I'm going to file that complaint right away. Right away. That's what I'm going to do right away. Why wasn't that done? Why wasn't that done? That was never, ever done. Never done until a whole year later, to after we did the research, to after everything, after we had done everything. And then we find out, oh, now charges are being filed. Really? But anyway, I digress. But you have to, those are the things you got to pay attention to, though. Seriously. Those are the things you got to pay attention to, those type of things, because that's what I'm telling you. These are the patterns in the behavior. Okay? These are the patterns in the, and remember, she told us she sues people all the time. That's what she does. Patterns in people's behavior. Okay? Let me drink some of this. So I watched the video today. I've been watching this video. Someone sent it to me in the comment section. Then I went to Unapologetic Negro. He did an interview with the same lady. And I noticed the people in the comment section were saying she couldn't tell you how much the land money she gave Blacksett. She couldn't tell you certain details that she should have known about Blacksett. And they didn't go to the police about Blacksett. And they were in the Gambia. So I'm like, what? I'm confused. If I'm in the Gambia, Juliet took my money. Juliet not taking my phone call. Miss Juliet, I'm sorry, ma'am. Miss Juliet is not taking my phone calls. Okay? Miss Juliet is not doing none of this. But you got to remember, Miss Juliet is an agent. That's not the agent's responsibility. Okay? She's not a land developer. At least I haven't ran across her saying that yet. If she's a land developer, y'all let me know. If she's a project developer, let me know. Because that's all that they're requesting her to do. That's not what she's supposed to do. She led you to the land. She gave you your lead. Now that's your job. Her job is not to babysit you through the project. And that's from what I've been seeing. I'm sorry, telling you what I see. But I'm at the beginning of it. It's not her job to babysit you through this project. You are making an international land purchase. That is your responsibility to do all the research. That is your responsibility to go see the land. That is your responsibility to do all of that. To do all of that. And from what I've been seeing, this is what's going on. This is what the problem is. This is what they want her to do. They don't know. We don't know. We don't know. I'm not going to say they, because they are us and we are them. Okay? They are us and we are them. So I'm not going to say they don't know. We don't know what we are doing. And then we get mad and point the finger at somebody and say, oh, you wronged me. You did this to me. But we're full-grown adults. We're full-grown adults. We want kids to take responsibility for their actions every single day. Every single day, we want little kids, 6, 7 years old, take responsibility for your actions. But we are grown adults. Grown adults. And when we make bad investments, we point the finger at that person and say, oh, you did that to me. You scammed me. You didn't tell me you were an agent, and you didn't tell me that agents only do this. Agents only lead you to the land. You didn't tell me you weren't going to babysit me through the process, and you weren't going to show me the land, and you weren't going to take me to the land when I got there, and you weren't going to pick me up from the airport, and you weren't going to be my friend, and you weren't going to hang out with me, and you weren't going to kick it with me, and we weren't going to be besties, and I wasn't going to be on your YouTube channel. I'm sorry. I'm not saying this is what people wanted. Okay, I see you later. I love you. I'm not saying this is what people wanted. But I'm saying, go to the police. Go to the police before you come to us and get us all riled up and in the mix. Go to the police. If you're from the United States, go to your bank. That's called fraud. That's called a fraudulent investment. And your bank will snatch that money back so fast, it'll make their head spin. At least I know my bank does. When I was doing my dance team stuff, this dance team was full of scammers. Dance team scammers. Scamming us out of everything they could. But whenever somebody tried to scam me, or whenever I did not get what I want, what they told me they were going to give me, that is called fraud, people. Contact your bank. They'll get their money back for you. But you got to do it within 90 days. If you don't know within 90 days that this person is doing fraudulent activity, then like your bank's not trying to get your money after that because they feel like, well, either you was in on the scam or you didn't care about the scam. One of the two. One of the two. One of the two. Now I'm just keeping it real with you. I'm not going to sit here and waste my time and babysit and play and just get on board because everybody else on board. I don't do that. I'm not that type of person. I'm not going to waste my time doing that. And I'm not going to waste my time coming over here, giving y'all some just whatever y'all want to hear. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm just not. Until I can see, and I'm still looking, where this woman owns this land, then how can you even say she scammed you out of anything? How can you say that? But some people say they have receipts. And if you have receipts, I don't understand how come you haven't been to the police. But I don't know what the class action lawsuit is about. Again, I'm telling you, I'm not at that point. I can't just jump to, well, I could jump to that point, but I don't like to do that. It's like jumping to the end of the book. And you know what happened? It kind of makes your opinion kind of biased. So I go kind of slow, to see, is this even plausible what they're saying? Is this even plausible? Could this woman own all this land? How much money did she come to the Gambia with? She's had to live in the Gambia. So these are the things, I've been running across, and I can't just play and act like, this isn't what I've been finding. I can't come to you guys and pretend like I've been seeing something like some hot evidence saying, oh, this woman is a land scammer. Oh, she's this, she's that. She's everything people are saying she is, other than she does have really bad customer service. I can tell you that right now. She does have really bad customer service. She does kind of say things that she needs to control. If she feels this way about people, she kind of needs to keep that to herself, especially in the Gambia, because the Gambia is not a country like that. They don't talk about people like that. They don't talk about people, and they don't like to hear people talk about people. So, she's entitled, but she's entitled to, I feel like everybody's entitled to their opinion. She's entitled to her opinion, just like everybody else. And I know people say she's done some things, even with Quasi. Remember how they came up in the Quasi boy situation. And I know about that. I read those messages. Remember? I read them. But did any of those messages tell me land scammer? No. It told me this wasn't how can I say it? This person, you couldn't trust this person. I wouldn't want to be friends with this type of person, and I wouldn't trust this person. Okay, but it didn't tell me land scammer. It told me two-faced, stab you in your back, but it didn't say I own land and I have the documents to the land. So I don't know how people are doing saying that. So let's look at what Gambian chefs are saying. Gambian chefs are saying. Real topic for discussion. As a Gambian, I bought two lands from an agency 3 years ago. Still having trouble with the paperwork. We'll be going at the end of December to try to sort it out. Yep, we talked about that last week. I'm so sorry to hear that. But we talked about that last week. Yeah, it's a lot of who did you say you bought it from? Did you buy it from a real estate? Lands from an agency 3 years ago. So it was an agency. And that's what we talked about last week, the agencies. But you know, Gambian thieves, Gambian thieves. I'm sorry. Yeah, where are you, Gambian thieves? I haven't seen you in a minute. You've been gone. Where are you? Okay, I'm sorry, Gambian chefs. But Gambian chefs. So my question is, why didn't you go to the authorities? But you know what? Africans don't believe in that. They don't, I forgot about that. They don't believe in like going to the authorities like we do and suing people like we do. Okay. Like, I want to know, why didn't you go to the authorities? Okay. And then I'll talk about my experience. But tell me, why didn't you go to the authorities since it's been 3 years and you still haven't gotten your papers? You still haven't got money back. You still haven't gotten sorted out. Why? Why do you still even try to sort it out? Why not go to the authorities and let them sort it out? Do you mind answering that, or are we being a little bit too personal? Because this will help us understand what's going on. Because it could be just our Western mindset to go to the authorities. It could be our Western mindset to always, I'm going to take you to court. Because like when I worked in for Kumba Urban Council in Cameroon, which is in Kumba, Cameroon, somebody had ran off, the contractor had ran off with the money to build the council with, okay? The building. So we were in a building that was half constructed because the construction guy ran off with the money, okay? So I'm sitting there looking at everybody while they're talking about it, and I'm looking around the room like, so nobody's going to even mention taking these people to jail, suing these people, nothing. So I finally said, so why don't you sue them? Why don't you take them to jail? They all look at me again like, oh, poor thing. You know, like that, poor thing. Like she just don't understand. They all give me that look. And then they tell me that's just not the African way. We just don't sue people like that. We try to work things out. We go to you and we try to work things out. We don't always turn to the authorities like that. So that's what the Cameroonians explained to me, why they just kind of didn't do anything about it. I'm just wondering why you didn't do anything. Why? I'm sorry if maybe I'm assuming you didn't do anything. So I will update you with pictures of those involved. Oh yes, please do. Trust no one, just the reputable ones. We don't even know who the reputable ones are at this point. That's the whole thing. We don't even know who they are. We've been trying to figure it out. I've been trying to figure it out since we started this. I'm like, so is it easier to give them a list of who not to trust than it is who to trust? Because I can't even find out who to trust at this point. I don't even know who to trust at this point. We don't even know who to trust at this point. Because it seems like it's all about money. It's all about money, and the land issues in the Gambia, not the land issues, I'm sorry, the economic issues in the Gambia is just making this land scamming even worse. So we don't even know. The reputable ones, who are they? Who are the reputable ones? It's a matter of truth. And in the UK with the lockdown. Oh. So y'all locked down again in the UK? Really? Oh, they don't care here, Gambian chefs. They don't care. I'm telling you, you wouldn't even believe COVID exists here. People don't even wear their masks. People just going places, going to parties, going whatever. Just like it's nothing. Just like it's nothing. Do you hear me? I keep my mask on everywhere I go. I don't go to parties on the holidays. Nobody has to come to my house. I'm fine with that. And if you come to my house, you better believe I'm going to have a mask on and you're going to have a mask on. Because in the county I live in, Ohio, COVID is bad. And people are acting like it's nothing. Wow, I can't believe you guys are on lockdown like that. Ooh, I hope we don't go on lockdown. Forget that. But okay. So we'd be interested in knowing, oh, you can't go check, maybe you can't go check it out. You can't go to the police because you've been on lockdown. Okay, maybe that's what you mean. Okay. So let's go back to what we were talking about. So for tonight, we were talking about how I was qualified to do this research. Like I said, in graduate school, I won a graduate research assistantship, where I was a research assistant to a team of doctors who researched urban issues. And one of the doctors I worked with, she researched African American issues. So that's when I became very familiar with African American issues and how to research those issues, because you got to research those issues, our issues, a little differently. And the same holds true with Africans, because you got to remember African American. There's a connection. The same holds true with them. You have to be able to do a lot of qualitative research to find out what's really going on with them, because a lot of things are orally, okay? A lot of oral tradition there. So that's what made me qualified to do this research and to discuss this topic. For those of you who don't know, I've been to the continent. I've lost track about how many times I've been to the continent. It's either 8 or 9 times. I'm not sure, because I've had 3 passports, and within those passports, I've lost the visas with the travel stickers, and I've lost count. So 8 or 9 times I've been to the continent. Again, I've had the opportunity to actually work on the continent when I worked for the Kumba Urban Council, which is in Cameroon, West Africa. Shout out to everybody at Kumba. Hey. So that's what makes me qualified to talk about this topic. Okay. So again, tonight we're going to talk about who are the YouTube wannabe land scammers in the Gambia. Why am I calling them the wannabe land scammers? Because the first qualification to be a land scammer is you have to either own the land, or you got to be pretending like you own the land. And if you're pretending like you've owned the land, you should have something showing that this person has pretended like they are the owner of this property. So with this topic, I had to do what's called a literature review. We do that really with all research. You do a literature review. You see what's out there. You see what people are saying about this topic, what other people are saying about this topic. So what I did, I did a research the topic, and for this study tonight, we brought up last week about having an attorney. Would an attorney make a difference? And yes, an attorney would make a difference. Attorney would make a big difference. So we determined that. So tonight, when I was researching, guess who I ran across? I ran across this excellent article by lawyers from the Gambia. They are actually in the Gambia. Yeah. And guess what? I'm going to tell you what they told us. Let me finish this. So they named, I might say it wrong, I think it's called the Soleil. I think that's how you pronounce that. Solie. Soleil or Soleil Law Chambers. That's the name of it. I use the Soleil Law Chambers website for information, YouTube videos, and YouTube comments. Y'all know I love YouTube. Of course, I gotta always use YouTube because I'm on YouTube. So I gotta use them as a resource. That's a primary resource that's just full of information, videos and comments, and also emails that I received from various repasts about this topic. Let's see if we got any questions so far. Okay. Do we got any questions? Anybody got any questions? Anybody got any comments so far? Because I don't want to throw a whole bunch of information at you like that and then it just go over your head, because there's no point in that. So, do we have any questions so far? No? Comments? No? All right. Okay, so look, before we move to that, I want to ask you guys, tell you guys about something I want you all to think about as a community, as a repack community. We all make up this repack community, okay? So I've been getting different emails about different people, different repacks, okay, who have let me see, their emails about their business practices in the Gambia, okay, and their reputations. So I'm wondering how to handle this information. The business practices, yes, I can see us talking about that. But this other information that I'm getting, that stuff is like real personal stuff. And I don't know if we need to know that as a community. You know what I mean? I know people in the Gambia need to realize they're in Africa and they don't understand. In Africa, everybody talks. Like I told you, it's like going to your grandmother's house and in a small town in the South, and everybody know everybody, and everybody talks. Everybody talks. Everybody talks. You think people are not paying attention to you, but they're paying attention to what you're doing. Every single thing you're doing. And if you're not right, if you're morally not right, Africans don't like that. If you're morally corrupt, if you're unethical, they don't like that. They don't want you bringing that to their country. And if they feel like you're on that, they don't like that. And they may not say nothing, but as soon as they get a chance to let somebody know what's going on, they're going to do that. So these emails are about some repacks that's on YouTube that we haven't talked about these repacks yet. We haven't even brought these repacks up yet. These are a whole different set. Yeah, a whole different set, y'all. It's sad. A whole different set. So I want to know, do you guys want to know about that stuff? Because you know who these people are. If you watch me, you watch them. Because we all watch the same people. So if you want to know, y'all need to let me know. How much do y'all want to know? Do y'all want to know these? I don't even know how to label these business practices. I don't know if they're not transparent. That's the issue that I'm seeing with these repacks. Even these these wannabe land scammers who have project development companies, their transparency is unbelievable. It's unbelievable. When you start a business, you're supposed to be transparent. These repacks, they don't believe in transparency. They don't believe in that. So that's the question. Do you guys want to know more about these repacks that are of these other set of repacks that are over there and what they're doing? Do you want that? Do you want to talk about that? Do you want to know about that? Again, some of it has to do with business practices. Some of it has to do with behavior that they feel is immoral and unethical. Spill the beans. But it's making us look bad. That's the only reason I'm even thinking about how I look at it and say, well, how does this affect us as a people as a whole? Because it makes us look bad as a people and a whole. That's what happens, because Africans tend not to judge us as individuals, African Americans, but as people, as a group of people. And we don't have a good reputation. And it's not just Crazy Boys repacks. These other repacks over there, they don't have good reputations. They don't. And it's so unfortunate. It's so unfortunate, because if I know about it, you guys, if somebody is writing me and telling me about it, you know how many other people in the Gambia know about this behavior? Know about what they're doing? While they think nobody knows, everybody knows, because I know. So, Mr. Foreman says, spill the beans. Let's see. Chill Neil said, hold on, y'all. Let's see. So y'all let me know what y'all want to do with that information. Kiki, what is your email address? There are some things I want to reveal about. Oh my God, please don't tell me. I hope it's good. I hope it's good because that was the only one I had hope for. That was the only one I had hope for because I just don't see anybody that's good so far. I just don't. And that's sad. That's just really sad. Okay, I'm putting it, chill Neil, I'm putting it in the comment section. Okay. Wow. So let's look at what Mr. Foreman says, because that really hurt my feelings when I read that stuff, y'all. It really hurt my feelings because I don't like to hear people talk about us. I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like people to say, Kiki, your people do this, your people do that. Your people over here saying this, and your people doing this, and your people doing that. I don't like that. I don't like that. That just makes me feel bad. It makes us look bad. Because when I get off the plane in the Gambia, people know I'm an American. Now I know why they didn't even rush to help me. When I go to Nigeria, oh, it's completely different. Nigerians everywhere want to help you this, help you do this, help you do that, but not when y'all got to the Gambia. Didn't nobody run up to me to help me do nothing. They ran up to them people from Europe. They did not run up to me for nothing. They didn't even run up to the UK lady. I thought she was from here till I started talking to her. And I said, is this what they always do? She said, yeah. Then I started thinking, why? I was kind of getting upset. But then now I see why. We don't have no respect over there. We don't act respectful over there. I don't know what the Europeans do. I don't investigate them. But I'm talking about what we do. Like my grandmother said, don't worry about what they do. Don't worry about what they do. Worry about what you do. Worry about you and how you look to everybody else. And right now we're looking like fools over there. Just straight up fools for no reason. No reason whatsoever. No reason whatsoever other than greed. Other than we want to be greedy, we want to make some money. But see, I'm telling you, Africa's expensive. They don't believe, they don't bought into that lie that they were promoting, that oh, it's so cheap to live in the Gambia. It's so cheap to live in the Gambia. If you live like a Gambian, maybe it is. But to live, I gotta take something to drink on that note. But African Americans can't live like the Gambians because African American, get it? Get it? You're a mixture of the two. Okay? So you can go to Africa and you can pretend like you an African to that 20% start biting you in the behind. Mm-hmm. And when you don't have that internet, you lose your mind. When you don't have that electricity, you lose your mind. When you don't have air conditioner, you're going crazy. Mm-hmm. We don't have water. Yeah. We don't have water because the electricity went out. Now my water is gone. I'm in the middle of taking my bath. Oh my God, I got soap all over my body. I don't have no water and I don't have no hot water. To keep all this stuff going and flowing like we used to it here in the United States, that costs money. That costs money. To live comfortable in Africa, that costs money. You pay for everything. There's no unlimited like we have here. The internet, there's no unlimited internet. No. That might be a business idea for somebody, but there's no unlimited internet. There's no like we have DPN, we have DPNL, but there's no electric service like we have. They have electric service, don't get me wrong. Gambia's electricity is pretty good though. That's pretty good compared to Nigeria. But Nigeria has oh my God, so many people to provide electricity for it. That's why they have so many outages. But Gambia doesn't have that many people like Nigeria. But anyway, so that's something you got to pay attention to. So let's go back to what else we were talking about. Okay, let's go to, so that's, is there any more questions? Any more comments? Any more questions? So then I want to know what you guys want me to do with this information. Do you want me to put it in like a database where you guys can go look through it and see, like, say you're thinking about traveling to the Gambia and you want to, you know, somebody you could hook up with to show you around, or you know, somebody, if you want to buy land in the Gambia, when we finally finish this study, we can have the people you can trust have their names in there. But what do you want me to do with this information? I think this information should be easy to access for everybody, because we've been collecting lots of information, you know, that people who just find out about the Gambia and want to know, they don't know because they're looking at the video. So they don't know, they don't realize who these people are. You know, people buy YouTube subscribers and their channels just grow. And people don't know the reputation of this person. So you have to just, what do you want us to do with that? What do you guys want to do with that? We know who to trust. We know what to do, but most people don't. So should we put that information? We need to put, I feel like we need to put that information in an easy place to access. Maybe, I don't know, maybe like not a YouTube page. Or we could do YouTube. We could do that. That could be another thing. Just to put the information there. Or I don't know, you guys give me some ideas about that. And it needs to, I put that it needs to be easy to see which companies and which repacks to not do business with. We need to be able to see that right away. We need to. We need to be able to go to a place, go to a book, go to a website, go to a Facebook page, go to somewhere and say, hey, is this first company? Do you got any information on this company? Hey, what about these repacks? Can I do business with these repacks? Because right now, we don't know. We're just going by what we see on YouTube. But we do know because we've been researching them. And we got a whole bunch of information. So let me know about that. Let me see. Are we still good? Yep. Okay. Any questions about that? So that's just something in the making. Okay. So let me know what you guys want us to do about that. Because it's our project. It's you guys' ideal. I can't say, you know, this is my research, because the ideas came from you guys. This is the repack community's research project. I just did it. I did the work. Okay, so let's see. For tonight, we're going to talk about, we got to have our key terms. Because if you don't, and this is what I'm talking about, we don't understand certain things. So I had to back way up before I found myself just diving in like everybody else and saying, okay, you know, this person is a scammer because you know, thinking like everybody else, you know, but then I found myself thinking, well, what's your criteria? What are your criteria to determine if someone is a land scammer? Are you just going by what other people say? What's your criteria? So then I thought, well, Dad, I don't even have any criteria. So I'm like, oh no, hold up, back up, getting ahead of yourself. So I backed up and I said, first, I got to understand, we as a repack community, before we can say someone is a scammer, we first have to understand the process of purchasing land in the Gambia. And I could tell from the research and from the comments and from the people who said they've been scammed that they don't know. They don't know because all they talk about is that Akalo transfer paper, and they think that that's what they need. They think once they have that, that's the almighty, you know, transfer, and it's there. It's the almighty document. And once they have that document, oh, they're in like Flynn. And no, no, it is not. So we have to keep ourselves educated. So we have to figure out, we have to talk about, how do you even buy land? How do you even do that? What are the rules to it? How do I know if you're breaking the rules if I don't even know the rules? So we needed to get some key terms. I needed to understand what these things were. So the estate agent, an estate agent is someone who works for a company that sells land, houses for people. Okay. The estate agent works for a company and they sell the land and they sell housing, or they could sell both for the company that they work for. Okay. That's an estate agent. Remember, that's what I said I believe Blacksett does. Okay. A property developer. A property developer. Now listen to this. This is the new trend. Okay. This is what YouTube people are trying to call themselves. Okay. You know, once one of them do it, or once they see, I think they were actually trying to model themselves after Blacksett. I really think that's what they were trying to do, model Blacksett with her structure, how she includes. Blacksett has she has a diaspora of different people working with her. She has Gambians, UK Americans. Requazi used to work with her, and you know she has a diverse group of people. So it seems like this new. We're going to talk about this company too. Okay, it seems like they're trying to model Blacksett's business structure, if you will. I'm calling it a business. I haven't seen anything that Art says she's a business structure, but I'm just calling it a business just for us to easily understand what I'm talking about. So it seems like they're trying to model that structure, okay? And I see that in these different land development companies that are springing up now, which repats are getting into, okay? But we're going to talk about that. And a land developer is responsible for, listen to this now, finding the best location, sourcing funds. So they're going to find you the best sourcing funds. They're also going to they're going to help you in obtaining planning permission and building. They're going to permission and building on raw land. They'll help you get your building established on the raw land. And they also will help you with organizing renovations or repairs. Or they even lease property, okay? But again, the end goal of this property developer is to make a profit off that project. I'm sorry, let me back up too. With the estate agent. The estate agent receives a commission only if they sell you the land. So again, the real estate agent, their goal is to sell you the land. I'm going to say whatever I need to say to you. I'm going to make you feel whatever I need to make you feel for you to buy that land. And once you buy that land, I'm done. I've done my job. I've done my job. Now you need to deal with the owner of that land. Okay? Either it's a person or it's a company. The project developer, they're going to babysit you. They're going to walk you down the project, walk you through the process. But they're not doing that for free. They're not doing that just because they love you and they want to help you come back to Africa. No, it's for a profit also. It's for a profit also. So you need to understand that too. So when they start talking about this old mama, I'm revealing what I'm going to talk about. I don't want to tell you yet. But when they start revealing this, oh, I love Africa, come back to Africa, we want to help you fulfill your, don't fall for that. When they start trying to pull for your heartstrings, at your heartstrings, don't fall for that. Because what does business have to do with my heartstring? Nothing. Nothing. If you're talking about my heartstrings and me buying land, run the other way, because that means that person is playing on my passion. He's playing on your passions. They're playing on your desires. Run the other way, people. Business has nothing to do with feelings. Your love for Africa. I want to help you come home and connect. No. When they start talking, if that's their mission, if that's their vision, run. Because it says, my mission and my vision is to make a profit off your passion. My mission and my vision is to make a profit off your love for your ancestors. And I'm going to drain you dry because I know you love them. Run, people. Run. Because a businessman doesn't talk about feelings. When you do business, and I've said in many, many boardroom meetings, and trust me, feelings, nobody talks about feelings. Nobody talks about that. Nobody cares about feelings. Feelings don't pay the bills. Feelings don't make a profit. Who cares about feelings? So if this business is trying to profit off your feelings, run the other way. So again, we're going to talk about these land developer YouTube companies that's popping up with African repats on there. They're not clearly transparent about their connections. You got to look around here, there, everywhere to find out who these people are. Don't do business with people like that. Business shouldn't operate like that. That's where we're getting it mixed up. We're mixing our feelings with an international land purchase, with an international real estate purchase, with an international rental contract. I'm getting my feelings all mixed up in that. What are you talking about? What is going on here? And then you said, why is African Americans, somebody asked me last week, why are we being taken advantage of like that? That's why. That's why, because we don't know business. We don't know business. We know emotion. We know passion. We know love. But we don't know business. Because them things, ancestors, they don't have nothing to do with a business deal. Nothing. The ultimate goal of the land developer is the property developer. I'm sorry, it's called a property developer, is to make money off of your project. The ultimate goal of the agent, the estate agent, is to make money off of you buying the land, and that's it. Once that person buys the land from you, they have no other obligation to you. None. Now, this undeveloped non-residential lands, that continually comes up. Continually comes up. Now, how many of us know what undeveloped non-residential lands, what does that even mean? What does it mean? And I'm sitting there thinking, I got a vision and in my head, I got to say undeveloped. So undeveloped means nothing is on it. Okay. Non-residential. Non-residential, that means residence. There's no residence on it. That means there's no community on it. So this is just raw land, like in the middle of nowhere, like in the country, like in the village. In the village. So I'm like, isn't that where most of these land scamming things are going on? In the village? Land in the village? So let's look at the definition. I didn't know. You see how I had to break it down? So I said, okay, we need to define this. As a repat community, we need to look up the official definition of undeveloped non-residential lands, because that plays a key role in the type of land we can and cannot develop, purchase, and own. So let's go. Undeveloped land It's often called raw land. It's in a vacant area without any public utilities, buildings, or even driveways. That's why we see this land they selling these people way out in the middle of nowhere. Nothing. Do we see public utilities? No. Do we see buildings? No. Do we see driveways? No. We don't even see streets. We don't even see roads. That is the definition of undeveloped, non-residential land. Often undeveloped land, listen, is in rural areas found off county roads and can be the place to build your forever home. Okay? It can also be used for many other purchases many other purposes as well. Okay? So that sounds good, right? Sounds like, oh, that's what we want. Well, no, not me, because I don't want to live out no place like this. Because I don't like rats, I don't like roaches, and them bugs in Africa. Oh no, I can't live out in the country. The rats in Africa, no, 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 no. They don't even call them rats. I forgot what, grass cutters. That's what they call them, grass cutters. I don't want to live nowhere near grass cutters. Okay, no, I'm cool. So I'm not interested in living out here. But some people, I want to live in most urban places I can in Africa. I'm telling you. I'm not going to pretend. I'm not going to play. I'm telling y'all the honest to God truth. Honest to God truth. That's where you're going to see. You want to know where Kiki live, Love Nigeria live? She's going to be in the most urban part of the Gambia. She's going to be. I'm telling you. That's where she is. That's where she's going to be. So, this is it. Okay, some people love this though. Okay, but you got to understand you're not going to have no utilities. You're not going to have no buildings around you, and you're not even going to have driveway. Okay, so land registration system is another key term that you need to understand when you're purchasing land in the Gambia. Okay, so this is defined as any public system of records concerning legal rights of land. Okay, so this is a public system that keeps record. It's like an office that keeps record, okay, of people who own land. There's two categories. There's land registration system and there's deeds, okay? So we need a registration system and I'm sorry, it's deeds and it's registration of titles and deeds, okay? So there you have it. Those are our key terms for what we're about to talk about. Now, we're going to stop and take a break. Does anybody have any questions? No? Questions? Comments? Comments? None? That makes me nervous when y'all be quiet like that. All right. So now we're going to talk about what we need to know. So we don't have to go over there expecting a real estate agent to be a project developer or a property developer. And understand thinking that a property developer is not our friend. A property developer, he's probably he or she, they're gonna want more than that real estate agent. Okay? So you need to understand what you're dealing with. Everybody's there to make money off of this. This is not free. This is not free. Everybody there to get a paycheck. Just like, and I'm gonna keep calling him Big Pimpin' because oh no, he gets big because that's what he is. Big Pimp, just like Big Pimpin' said, Big Pimpin' the happy companion. There is no profit. They weren't making a profit, so they had to raise the prices. If there's no profit, they're going to raise the prices. They need a profit. They need to make a profit off of you. Don't you get it? You're a business. Big Pimpin' lets you know what he say. Pay us. You got to pay us for this good content. We giving it to you. Pay us. Give it to us. That's just what y'all been doing. No questions asked. Blindly. They let you know to your face, I'm using you. I'm taking you for your money. I'm doing me. This man said, Big Pimpin' said he's building a dynasty. Do you know what a dynasty is? That's not a community. That's not group economics. But then you say you scam. You don't do no research. Let me get back to this. So we had to gain an understanding. To do this, again, I had to gain an understanding of how you purchase land in the Gambia, okay? Because you can't just go around saying, oh, you're a scammer, but you don't know nothing about how to even begin to purchase land in the first place. How do you even know if they're scamming you? You don't know if somebody's scamming you. Well, you don't even know the rules to the game. How are you buying land and you don't even know the rules to the game? When you thinking the real estate agent, again, is the project developer. So this article was called How to Buy and Sell Land and Property in the Gambia. The source of my information was Soleil Law Chamber, okay? So the first thing I wanted to know was, can foreigners really buy land or property in the Gambia? Because you know, in my heart of hearts, I don't believe that's true. I believe we can lease it. And this is not just the Gambia. It's just in Africa in general. I believe we can lease the land for, 100 years, in some cases 50 years. I believe we can lease the land. But to say we truly own that, I don't believe. I personally don't believe it. I don't. Okay, so let's go. It says foreigners can, remember we talked about this, foreigners can buy and lease private property or state-owned land in the Gambia. You don't need official permission to buy land or property in the Gambia. We talked about that. We know that there's no restrictions on legal ownership of property by foreigners in the Gambia. We also know there's no special rules that apply to foreigners when investing, developing buildings, residential or commercial or industry, even agricultural lands and properties in the Gambia. The Gambia has a very international friendly economic policy towards investors, okay? It's very friendly. Again, this is a frontier economy. It's open to everybody and it welcomes you in. However, there are some restrictions. We talked about this, the State Lands Act. And this is why we need a lawyer. Stipulates. And the lawyer is even telling us this. Because I remember this data, this information is coming from these lawyers in the Gambia. Okay? They say that a foreigner can only have access in this State Lands Act 1991, which stipulates the restrictions, says that a foreigner can only have access to residential land for a period not exceeding 21 years. This is why we need a lawyer like these Soleil people. So how do you say this? Soleil? Like these Soleil law firm people who are international lawyers, and this is what they do, people. Okay? So, again, they're telling us, this is what the State Lands Act says. They also say that we cannot, the property that we purchase cannot exceed 2,500 square meters. Okay? They said that the land has to be undeveloped. Well, it doesn't have to be. No, hold on, let me read this right. It says No, like, listen, almost read this wrong. And this is real important. That's why you need a lawyer. It says undeveloped, non-residential lands cannot be leased or assigned to foreigners. Well, let me read that again, people. Undeveloped, non-residential lands cannot be leased or assigned to foreigners. What does that mean to me? As a layperson, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a lawyer. I'm a public administrator and I'm an educator. But I am not a lawyer. What this means to me, from those two perspectives, that undeveloped land, which is land that's not raw, what we just said, what did we say undeveloped non-residential land was? Because we don't want to get it twisted. We said that's land that's in vacant area, that's without any public utility, that's without buildings or without driveways. That's what it's how public, this land was defined. It's called raw land. So let's go back. So we said that this raw land, what did he say? What did the lawyers say? What did the Soleil Law Chambers say? They said that in this Lands Act of 1991, that this raw land cannot be leased or assigned to foreigners. Blair, get Kiyomi, she can't get through. Okay. Now, any questions? We're not going to go past that. I'm going to ask, stop right there and see if you guys got any questions about that. Yeah. And these are lawyers, okay, who's breaking this all down. They're located in the Gambia. At the end, I'm going to give you guys their information. So anybody who's interested, please contact these people before you go trying to do this on your own. So let's go back to this. No questions so far, y'all? Okay, good. Well, not good, but just let me know, because I don't want to throw too much information and it go over your head. But some of this, most of this we already knew. We talked about. So the lawyers are confirming that we were on the right track. But again, we need an attorney. I forgot who said that last week. I think it was Joanna. We need an attorney. So should we buy land or property in the Gambia from a real estate agent? Good question, right? So we want to know, Mr. Soleil Law Chambers, should we go through a real estate agent to buy this land? This is what they said. They said that most property buyers use the service of an estate agent to help them find, keyword, find a property. Most, but not all agents, most, according to the Soleil Law Chambers in the Gambia, West Africa, who are international lawyers who do this every single day. They said most, but not all, estate agents are honest. Okay? Most of them are honest, but they're warning you. But not all of them are honest. Okay? But they said, they warn you again. However, they said, no matter how honest they are, and no matter how helpful they are, the only way they get paid is if this property is sold. Okay? And they are not able to give you independent legal advice. So if they're giving you independent legal advice, if they're giving you any type of legal advice, they can't do that. That's illegal. They can't do that. They also only get paid. They only make money when that property is sold. only. So of course they're going to be honest. Well, of course they're trying to pretend like they're honest. We don't know. They say some of them are honest and some of them are not. You don't know who's honest and you don't know who's not honest. We don't know, y'all. At this point, we really don't know. Okay. But he said, no matter how honest, no matter how helpful, you need to realize the end game for this person is for you to buy this property, you to buy this land, so they can get paid. Okay. And they are not able to give you any independent legal advice. Okay. So once they found a property for you that you like or that you want to buy, they're going to ask you to sign a form. Okay. They said this form is a reservation of preliminary purchase contract. So after the real estate person, agent, finds this property for you, according to the Soleil Law Firm chambers in the Gambia, West Africa, they tell us that they're going to ask us to sign a form of reservation or preliminary purchase contract. Okay? But this is what they warn us. Again, they warn us. Don't sign anything. Sign nothing until you checked with a lawyer. They didn't say check with us. They said check with the lawyer. I'm saying check with these people. From what I've seen, this is a reputable company. And if you're trying to purchase land, you need to contact these people right away. Right, even if you've already started the proceedings, even if you, Gambian chefs, contact them. See if they can help you. Tell them your situation. See what their advice is. A lot of times people will give you free consultations. See if you have any legal, which I know you do. So they said give them nothing. Contact a lawyer before you sign anything. Contact a lawyer. Then they say, be careful when using services of the estate agent. Like you'll say, okay, well, estate agent, I want a lawyer. I'm gonna go see a lawyer and have the lawyer look over all my information. Real estate agent is gonna say, oh, I know a lawyer. I know a lawyer you could talk to. Soleil Law Chambers does not, I repeat, they don't even recommend that because they said that agent is helping that lawyer get paid. So that lawyer is not going to look out for your own interest. That lawyer is going to look out for the interest of that real estate agent and that company. So there's the real estate agent. What happens when you use them? Any questions about the real estate agent and what happens when you use them? They get paid when you buy the property. Okay? You don't buy the property, they're wasting their time with you. If they feel like you're not going to buy the property, they're not going to make a sell off for you, Blacks is not going to be your friend anymore. She is not. She ain't got time for that. She got to go make some money. She's not making no money off of you. Okay? So she's not going to sit there and waste her time with you. She just can't. She got to go make her some money. So that's what you need to understand. So, any questions about that? No? Oh, y'all don't have no questions. This is like 2 weeks in a row, no questions. No questions, no comments. All right, here we go. Now, remember I told you there's this new trend bringing up, I noticed, with these repats. Property developers. They're property developers. I'm like, property developers? So that means they're going to develop the property from beginning to the end. And I'm like, well, how do you do that? When you're from the UK, you're from the United States, from Jamaica, and you got a Gambian, one Gambian, I think, maybe 2 Gambians. How do you do that? How do you do that? When these people don't even know, you don't even know. You're not from there. How do you know? How do you know? And the Gambian people you hired, how do you even know they know? Are they lawyers? Or are they somebody who's just had a dream and want to play on your emotions? And these repats is helping them exploit us, because that's what I think it's all about. That's what I truly think it's all about. So let's do these project developers. Remember that, project development companies. We'll talk about them, because that's what these repats are doing. You're going to develop a project really in the Gambia, really with Western standards, really, really. That's what you're going to do, really. So the project developer, and what exactly does that mean? Western standard. Does that mean the Gambian standards are less than? What does that mean? Western standards. That caught my attention. I'm in the Gambia, starting this project development company. And I say I'm helping Gambians too. I'm not saying my target is African Americans or UK people. But I say my standard of housing development is Western standard. So you're not targeting Gambians. You're targeting African Americans. Keep it real. Put it on the table. Just say you're looking to us. Just say it. Just say, we're targeting African Americans. Don't play like you're doing this for everybody. No, you're not. You're targeting us. And we know that. But you want to keep it a secret and try to act like it's not that, when it really is. Just like I told you that video with African Picnic. I don't even think they call themselves that anymore, but y'all know who I'm talking about. That whole video. That woman was from Jamaica. Two ladies talking about they're going to have a Jamaica town there. You know, there's a Ghana town and the Gambia. They're going to start a Jamaica town. Now, one time that these two women say anything about African American or the African American community, but when you go to the title of the video, what does it say? African American. She helps African Americans buy land in the Gambia. They're not African American. They don't even identify as African American. So why do you label as an African American title? Because that's your target. Because we're the target, people. We're the target. We're the target because it's the ignorant dollar. It's the ignorant dollar. Yeah, the ignorant dollar. The lack knowledge dollar. The easy to get dollar. I'm going to play on the heartstrings dollar. And I'm going to use my own people to do it. I'm going to do it to my own people. Because I know how much these African repats, I know how much they love Africa. I know they'll do anything for Africa. All you got to do is say Africa, and they're in. Yeah. That's what they do. Pull your heartstrings. Pull your, to me, that is the worst type of criminal. The worst type of criminal, to play on your emotions. To play on your emotions. You go to jail for that here. You go to jail for that. Your information is very clear. Thank you, Mr. Foreman. I'm always thinking about you when I'm writing this stuff and when I'm getting it together, sir. I'm serious, though. You and Mr. Williams. I got to make it clear because I know how y'all like. Y'all want the facts. You don't want all that other stuff. Stick to the facts. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. But yeah, that's for real, y'all. It's true. Got to pay attention. So let's keep on with this. So these lawyers, Soleil Law Chambers, they say, when asked about the property developer, should we just go, since we know the real estate people just really want our money because they don't have our best interest at heart. because they want to sell this land. So should we try the project developer? Because remember, all the things the project developer is going to do for us. Remember, he's going to hold our hand. They're going to walk us through the process. They're going to do everything for us. Remember that? Remember that? Yes. Okay. So this is what they say. Increasingly, our clients are buying directly from property developers without the intervention of an estate agent. But you still need to take all the same precautions as if you were dealing with an estate agent. Because we'll think it's a project company, because remember, what are they going to do? They're going to go look for us a loan, remember? The best loan they can get us. But how are they going to get us the best loan when you get paid off my project? So how's it benefiting you to get me the best loan? It's not going to benefit you. It's not going to benefit me for you to get me the best loan. It's going to benefit you to get me a loan from a company that you want to be cool with and from a company that you want to do business with, okay? That you want to develop a business relationship with. That's the company you're going to get me a loan from. So be honest, people. That's how business works. It's not I'm going out there and looking for you the best loan. No, it's about my business and who I want to develop this business relationship with. And where my company is going to benefit and your company is going to benefit. That's what we're looking for, people. That's what we're talking about here. That's what we're talking about. So that's what's going on. So that's why they said you got to be just as cautious of these people as you do as the other people. You can't just relax and think these people are really looking out for you. They're looking out for themselves because they don't get paid until the end of the project. Even some major developers sell property that is illegally constructed or not safe to buy. Now get that. So now you wonder why we see all these people in the Gambia, these repats during the rainy season that had ceilings that were just leaking water, bugs just flying in out of nowhere, ceilings, roofs, everything just collapsing, water seeping through the walls. Because what if they say major developers will sell property that is illegally constructed or not safe to buy? Major developers. So let me tell you, when I was in Africa, when I worked for the Kumba Urban Council, I worked one of the departments. They wanted me to work in all the departments so I could get a real feel of what it was like, government in Africa. So zoning and enforcement. Zoning and enforcement is where I worked. This is where you get these permits. You guys will not believe, this is just not a Gambia problem. This goes on in Cameroon. There would be people who would just build houses, just build them in the middle of nowhere, have no permit, have not contacted zoning and enforcement, have no papers, no documents saying they even own this land, but they're building a house in the middle of nowhere. My job, we went out, we would go out, it was 4 of us. We would go out and we would look, we would have to go to the village where there was no roads, okay? There were trails, like hiking trails. We would go on these trails and all of a sudden you be walking on the trail and you see this big, beautiful mansion out of nowhere. And I'm like, where do these people live? And guess where these people would live? They were either in the United States or they were in France. And they were sending money back home to get these houses built, okay? And to take shortcuts they would deal with these land people who did not own the land and did not have documentation for the land. So what would we do when we would get there? We want to see your papers. No papers, everything shut down. You're finished. You're done. Yeah, it was just that simple. It was just that simple. So you're caught up in court. And guess what? Your money is tied up in court because you don't own that house until you show us the permit, till you show us the documentation. They don't even have building permits and they're just building. Yeah, this goes on. This is so true. And let me tell you another thing, okay, about this developers. I don't know if you guys remember TB Joshua, but TB Joshua was a big preacher in Nigeria, and he got in trouble for that. He got in trouble for doing this illegal construction. Okay, he was building on to his hostel where people were staying who visited his church. While he was building on, people were still staying there. That wasn't supposed to be the case. And guess what? It collapsed and a whole bunch of people died. Okay. So I say all this to say this illegal construction that is not safe or not safe to buy construction, that's real. That's real. That is really real. I've seen it with my own eyes. Okay. So people, we need to contact a lawyer. If we want to do this, forget this. Are you a scammer? Is they a scammer? No. We don't have time for that. We do business, not emotions. We do business. Now, anybody else? Any more questions? No. Okay. So the lawyers were asked, do you need a lawyer to buy land or property in the Gambia? So they answered and they said, legal problems can arise when buying or selling land or property in the Gambia. Just like here, people. If you're going to sell land or buy land from in the United States, you're going to contact a lawyer. If you're going to build a house, you're going to contact a lawyer. So, lawyers offer legal advice on buying, selling, or renting, or leasing land, buildings, houses, apartments, or homes, or businesses, okay? They even help you with your business. Real estate investments and property developments in the Gambia. So basically, you do need a lawyer. You do need a lawyer. You need a lawyer if you're going to do any of this that I just named. Any of this. If you're going to rent a house, I want to rent because I'm not trying to buy because I know what happens once you give up that money. Once you give up that money, hey, ain't no telling what you going to get. So no, I'm not I'm going to rent so I can see. So to rent, I need a lawyer. I didn't even think about that. I didn't even think about I need a lawyer, and I do. I need a lawyer. To lease land, you need a lawyer. To build buildings, you need a lawyer. For apartments, homes, any of that. Anything where you're going to be dealing with property in the Gambia. These lawyers, Soleil lawyers, law chambers tell you, these are lawyers in the Gambia. They're telling you, you need a lawyer to do any of this. To do any of this. Instead of coming on YouTube looking for scammers, go get you a lawyer. Is it complicated to buy a plot of land or a house in the Gambia? Okay, that was another question they were asked. They said, unfortunately, very often people buy property or land in the Gambia with little to no legal advice. Again, unfortunately, they said, unfortunately, they buy land or property in the Gambia and they take little to know the legal advice before they make this purchase. The lawyers from Soleil Law Chamber said these people, Gambians and foreigners, are far too casual about the purchases that they make. They're far too casual. Now think about that. These lawyers are saying, you people are far too casual. You're taking this too lightly. You are signing legal documents. You are trying to purchase land in another country. If foreign property buyers go about things in this way, they said, it's going to turn out badly. They're telling you, it's going to turn out badly. If you have this casual, this kumbaya, I'm returning back to Africa. I'm going to Mama Africa. I love Africa. And please help me. Please help me make my dream come true of buying this land in Africa. They're going to help you, all right. They're going to help you, all right. Tell your lawyer that. Tell your lawyer the kumbaya story. Tell your lawyer your how much you love Africa. Tell your lawyer that. That's what you tell the lawyer, and let the lawyer handle the business, because that's what the lawyer do. The lawyer handle the business. But no, we doing that. And that's all we get taken advantage of. They warn you. They're telling us we are taking this far too casual. And they're talking to foreigners because they say it right here. Foreigners. They're taking this purchase far too casual, and they're taking it too casual, signing legal documents because they think it's Africa. It's Africa. It don't matter. It's Africa. I don't understand that. What they think, Africa don't have a legal system? They think people don't go to jail in Africa. They think Africa don't have a court system. And what is Africa anyway? What is Africa? That's how you know they're ignorant when they say it's Africa. The Gambia has a legal system. It has a court system. It has a law enforcement system. It has all that. It has all those establishments that we have here. Okay? It has lawyers. These are lawyers answering these questions for us tonight. These are lawyers in the Gambia. Property Law International Property Law. Now imagine that. Imagine that. Okay. This is just sad. They're warning us. If foreign property buyers go about things in this way, it can turn out bad. They might find, listen, they may find that there is no title to the property. That's the first thing you may find out. They warn you may find out there's no title to the property. Like we were, remember I told you when we would go to the house? Because you got to, when you build, you got to put that permit on the house, on the outside of the structure in Cameroon, so we could see it. If it wasn't there, you didn't have a permit to build. Okay? So they don't have that. He's saying they don't have a title to the property, okay? Or that it was built without planning permission. This is what they would do. They would build it without planning permission. Okay? The house could be built without planning permission. You can't own that house. You can't buy that house. You can do nothing with that property. Really, the state owns that property. That's the real owner of it. That's what I'm telling you. You guys, you wouldn't believe. You wouldn't believe the people who was doing this. And that was way back when I went to Cameroon. Okay. Or yeah, the property won't even exist. That's another thing. It won't even exist. So they have no title for the property. The house is being built without permission of the planning department. Okay? Or the daggone land don't even exist. It don't even exist. For your own safety, we insist on you taking proper, independent legal advice. So they're pretty much just telling you, please contact a lawyer. Contact any lawyer. It don't have to be Soleil. It don't have to be them. I don't know if I'm saying they name right. Soleil, Solie. Solie. It doesn't have to be them, but they're telling you, please contact a lawyer for independent legal advice before you do any of this. Okay, questions, answer. Any questions? Oh no, I got that. Any questions so far? Any questions so far? No? Okay. Any comments? You know I take comments too. Y'all can comment too. Okay. So one thing that you got to make sure that you are aware of the land registry system in the Gambia. There is a land registry system there. Okay. The lawyer said you need to be aware of this. And they said this is where the property transactions and conveniences are processed, okay, in the Gambia. And they said this office is very transparent. So you don't have to worry about land, buying land and property anymore, about the offices being corrupt. Okay. I guess at one time it was corrupt, but they're saying, you don't have to worry anymore that this office, since they, created this land registry system, office system, that, you don't have to worry about buying land anymore. So they're saying after the final purchase contract, the deed of sale has been signed, the notary will arrange for it to be registered at the appropriate land registry, okay? And for the payment at any land registry fee. So the land registry is where you have to go and register this land, register this transaction, and you also have to pay fees there. They said this is done after the final purchase, okay? After the final purchase contract and after the deed of sale has been signed, okay? This has to be done with the notary, okay? Now, the lawyer also, you need a lawyer for that. You definitely need a lawyer before you start doing all of that. We have any questions about the land registry system, how it works? That was pretty clear. No questions about that? Okie dokie. Now, number 7. This was just ridiculous that this question was even asked, okay? This is how you know we're not serious. We're taking this too lackadaisical, however they say it. We're too casual, as the lawyer says. We're too casual with this process. Somebody wanted to know, do we have to be in the Gambia to complete this property transaction? They wanted to know, can we just do it all online? Do I even have to come to Africa? Do I got to come to the Gambia for anything? Can't you just buy this land for me? Can't you just build this house for me? Can't you just sign the papers for me? Can you believe that? And then you wonder why you get scammed. So they say the seller and the people buying the land or the property usually need to attend in person to sign the final purchase contract and the deed of sale. Okay? Usually, the person who's buying the land, they try to be there. They want to be there in person so they can sign this final purchase contract and this deed of sale. Okay? They usually want to be there for that. But however, they said sometimes it's inconvenient. They understand that. Like Gambian chef said, they're on lockdown in the UK. So they can't be there. So he can't be there. So the lawyer said, in case you can't be there, what you can do You can do what's called an inconvenient arrangement, and it can be made with the power of attorney is granted. Okay, they'll grant a power of attorney to another person, and you're letting that person sign on your behalf. Okay. The lawyer can arrange for all of this to be taken care of, and the lawyer can also be your power of attorney, your lawyer. But it needs to be a reputable lawyer, okay? Someone who knows what they're doing. Some lawyers recommend that you give a power of attorney even if you're going to be present, okay? So they said some lawyers will recommend that you give them power of attorney even if you're going to be present for those signing of those documents, because in case documents come up along the way, in case issues come up along the way, you're in another country, you're in United States or UK, and they need to sign the documents for you, then they can do that for you. But that needs to be done only with a lawyer, okay? A reputable lawyer who knows about real estate property purchase in the Gambia. Okay, guys, any questions about that? No question? Okay, so we're going to keep on going. That means we're going to get done early tonight. Okay, so what taxes may be due when buying land or property in the Gambia? So this was one question that I heard somebody talk about. And it was the property gains tax. I think that's what they call it. Just a second, we got a comment. How long is the process of purchasing land? Well, that's an interesting question because there is not a set time frame. There is not six, you can't say 3 months, 2 months, 90 days, 60 days. There doesn't seem to be a time frame. It just depends on who you're purchasing this land with, how you go about purchasing this land. Seems like each land purchase is totally different. So you can't, it depends. It just depends. It depends on the company you purchase it with. If you purchase it with an individual, it just depends. I couldn't even begin to tell you how long it takes because people don't even know how long it takes. Gambian Chef's been trying to purchase his land for 3 years. The lawyers did not say there was a typical time period. But you know what, Miss Lonnie Renee, you can contact them. You can email them. I'm going to put their information in here, and that's a good question to ask them. Yeah, I would ask them that because they would know. They can give you an average, okay? They can say, well, there's no set time, but from the cases that we've dealt with, it takes an average of or estimated time of. You see what I'm saying? But since I don't have that information, and they do, because that's what they do, okay? You know what? I'm going to go and put their information in here now so y'all can start copying it down. But they would be a good person to contact and ask that information. Okay. Because they'll know. Well, they can't give you I know they'll probably say we can't give you an exact time frame because it just seems like it varies. But they'll be able to give you, like I said, an estimate. I'll put the name up here. So I'm gonna put this up here now so you guys watching, y'all can just, oh, hold on. Oh, hold on. I messed that one up. I got some nails on, y'all, and I'm not used to typing with these nails. So hold on, let me type this. SOLIE. That's why I don't like nails. I only did it because I'm on break and it's these little pop-on ones and pop them off. Because I'm sure pop them off after this show. Soleil Law. Okay, so let me put this up here now. Okay, now what did you say? Oh, okay, good. Here, let me give you the information. Here it is, Miss Lonnie. Okay, here's their information, everybody. Here's their telephone number. Here's the cell phone number. Here's the email address. And here is the email where you can email them. Oh, hold on. Let me put some spaces in between here. I don't like how that looks. Hold on 1 second. Let me put the spaces. I don't like, see, it's not showing up like that. I don't like how that's looking. Can y'all read that? So look, it says telephone, then cell. Okay, good. Screenshot it. And then, hold on. Let me make sure this email address. Okay, let me know if that email address does not work. Okay. Let me double check the email address real quick. Because I told y'all these nails. Let me just double check to make sure that's GM and not Gmail. It might be like, you know how companies have their own personal email. That's what I'm thinking. But I want to make sure, or it might just be a Gambian one. Yeah, they got a website. Yeah, that's it. Okay, that's right. So they have a website. They got a really nice website. That's why I was on there getting all this information. Like it's real, they're really helpful. So I'm like, if they give you all this information for free, okay, what do you think they're gonna do when you're paying them? Okay. That's what I'm saying. This is what you look for. Companies like this, okay? Yeah, they got a really nice website. Okay, let's make sure I got this right. Yeah, see, they do all of this. Okay, yeah, that is the right email. Okay, yep. So that's the right email address. Again, you can go onto their website. Okay, it's after the GM, the Soleil Law Chambers. Don't pay attention to that. That's just the name of it. Okay. So yeah, they could probably help you. They could probably tell you, like I said, an estimated time or a time frame. Okay, because they actually are doing that, and let them know you're coming next week. Okay, then maybe you can get in. You can sit down and talk to them. Okay, tell them what your dream is. Tell them what your plan is. Okay, get them on your team so you have somebody looking out for you when you come back. Then go look around, see what, like we talked about, go see what you want to see, go see where you want to live, then check out the land. Okay, if you want to do land, check that out. If you want to do housing, check all that out. Okay, but make sure you contact them. Let them know you're going to be there next week. Okay, so let me go back up here because they give you so much help for free. Now I'm thinking now, if you're doing this for free, then oh, you guys got to be you have to be a wonderful law firm. Because lawyers don't give you information for free unless they making that moolah and they know what they doing. Because they don't care. They feel like, hey, I can share the information. I'm getting paid because I'm good at what I do. So I don't have to hoard the information and make you come to me and make you pay me before I give you the information. No, good lawyers, good attorneys, good law firms, they don't have to do that. They don't have to do that. So let's see. So that's their information. Where did we stop? Any more questions? Okay. So we talked about, do I have to be in the Gambia to complete the property sale? Okay. Sometimes you do, sometimes, if you can't be there, Again, they recommend you get the power of attorney to the lawyer so they'll have it in case something comes up. Okay. Now, what taxes are due when buying land or property in the Gambia? This was a question that was this was something that I saw a lot, was this property gains tax. Okay, and my understanding from what I saw, but I'm not a lawyer. That's why we talking to these men, ladies and gentlemen, because they are attorneys in the Gambia, and this is what they do. This is what they do. Okay, so I'm thinking that it's the person who owns the land who's supposed to pay this property gains tax. Okay, so let's see what the lawyers say. The lawyers say, hire you an attorney and they'll arrange for the payment of any Gambian property transfer taxes due in relation to your transaction. Okay? Hire your attorney, because see, I heard somebody say that they paid for them, but she wrote it off at the end. No, you weren't supposed to pay for them to begin with. Even if you wrote it off at the beginning, how do you know you wrote it off at the end? How do you know the price of the house wasn't raised because of the property gain tax? You don't know any of that. You're not a lawyer. You wrote it off at the end. I hope you mean your lawyer wrote it off at the end. I hope you had a lawyer, but she didn't say that. See, it's people like this lady, I'm not going to say her name, that go on YouTube, go on platforms and promote their life as if they know what they're doing. She doesn't know what she's doing either if she paid the property gains tax. That's why the lawyer tells you, hire an attorney. Hire you an attorney before you do any of this, so they can make sure whoever's supposed to pay those property gains tax, that tax are paid. Property cap, whatever it is. I don't know the right name right now, but that tax. Okay? Whoever's supposed to pay that. All tax transfers are due in relation to this transaction. They're going to make sure that is taken care of. So you won't be like this lady. Oh, I paid it, but I wrote it off at the end. Okay. How do you know you wrote it off at the end? What does your property lawyer do? So someone wanted to know what even does a property lawyer do? Which is good, because these are international property lawyers. Doesn't that sound like what we need? Doesn't it sound like that's what we need? If we want to do business, buy property in the Gambia, don't we sound like we need a property lawyer to help us with this business transaction? This isn't an emotional transaction. This isn't a feeling transaction. This isn't a wedding. This is a business deal, an international business deal. Don't you think we need an international property lawyer that's located in the Gambia? Well, let's see. They say, in most countries in the world, a lawyer plays a major part in the process of buying and selling land and property. Yes, especially in the United States. Yes. Yes. So why you would want to do an international deal? Why we think we can go to the Gambia and understand international law, understand policies like the lands. What was the name of that policy? That seems like it contradicts the left hand. The right hand says one thing, but the left hand contradicts the right hand. What's it called? The State Lands Act. That's the purpose of having an attorney. That's what they do. He know exactly what that means. Lonnie, when you go talk to that lawyer, ask them, what does that mean? Ask them. Say, what does that mean? Does that mean I can't own land? Or does it mean I can only lease land? What does it mean, Mr. Lawyer? Explain it so I can go tell our repat community. Okay. So the lawyer is there to manage the sale and to register the formal document. Okay? Recording the sale or the purchase, which will be signed in his or her presence and understood by all the parties concerned. So the lawyer is going to make sure they're going to manage the whole legal sale for you. They're going to make sure that we register that the documents that need to be registered. The lawyer is going to make sure all those formal documents are registered. Okay. The lawyer is going to record everything that needs to be recorded. Okay, in relationship to this sale or purchase, whichever one it is. They're going to make sure everything is signed in his or her presence, and they're going to make sure that all the parties involved understand what is going on. Okay. Any questions about that? Do we got any questions? No. Okay. Now, this is when that we want to talk about the Soleil Law Chambers and how they can help guide us through this issue. Okay, the Soleil Law Chambers can help guide us through this issue involved in buying land and selling houses. Okay, so what we should do, people, instead of worrying about where Juliet is a scammer or not, we need to contact these people. We need to contact the Soleil Law Chambers, okay? They said you should contact us as soon as possible. After you've decided, when you decide, Miss Lonnie, since you've decided you want to purchase land, I want to live in the Gambia. I want to make the Gambia my home. Don't contact Blackson. Don't contact no land developer. No. Because they're going to feed off of your emotions and they're going to see dollars. Contact your lawyer. Contact this lawyer. These Soleil International Property Lawyers. Contact them. Say, I decided I want to come home to Africa, but I really need you to help me make this land purchase happen. Or help me find this property, or help me with this rental property. Help me make this transition back home. I'm going to even contact them for myself because I don't trust them. I told y'all what I was going through trying to just rent a place. And even my family in the Gambia going through the same thing. No, I said I'm done with that. So I'm going to just contact this lawyer and tell him what I'm looking for. Tell them, ask them their advice on which way to go, on what to do. Ask them what is the real price? What is the real price? I don't even know what the real price is. We all need to contact this lawyer, these lawyers, or contact whatever lawyer. If you know another lawyer, share it with our community. If you know a good, reputable attorney, a law practice person, good, don't. She says she ain't going to the YouTube real estate people. Please don't, because that's what we haven't gotten to them yet. Because like I said, we had to decide, we had to fully understand how to even buy land. We had to really understand. We didn't even understand really what a real estate agent was. What is a property developer? So we haven't really even gotten to them yet. We haven't really even gotten to them. We'll get to them. No, we'll probably start doing them in the middle of the week because I'm off for 2 weeks till after the first of the year. So I'm able to make videos. So what I'm going to do is make a video in the middle of the week, and we're going to gradually reveal each. I don't know if these people are I'm told you they're wannabe land scammers. They're not even land scammers. Okay? None of the YouTube people that I saw so far are even lands. They don't own no land. None of them own land. They said Blackson does. Okay, Gail, but I haven't seen it. I haven't gotten to it yet where she actually owns land. But if you don't own the land, how can you be scamming for the land? How can you be a scammer? That don't make sense to me. That doesn't fit the criteria. That doesn't fit the definition. It sounds like Miss Blackson lady is just a real estate agent who's unprofessional, who has a bad attitude, and has a problem with honesty. That's what it seems like to me. But I haven't gotten, like I said, this in the middle of the week. That's when we'll get there. This, like I said, this research project, took a lot more work than the other one did, because there was a lot of information to read through, a ton of information, a ton of policies to read through. You couldn't just look at videos for this. You had to really, I had to really go through it. So we talked about what the property lawyer does. We gave out the contact information. Okay, anything? Let me make sure we went over everything for tonight. Yep, it looks like we have covered looks like we went over everything. I'm just double checking. Looks like everything, yeah. So does anybody have any questions? I'm just looking at my little notes. I put little sticky notes on my desk to make sure to remind me of different stuff. So does anybody else have any questions about tonight? No? How come y'all don't be having questions? Or you just be listening, like somebody told me, because we're listening. We can't ask questions and listen at the same time. So I guess you're listening. So that's a good thing that we're listening. So that's really all we have for tonight. Now that we understand how to buy land in the Gambia, now we know what to look for when we're evaluating. We now have the criteria now for the scammers to look for when we're looking for these real estate agents and these property developers. Okay. I'm going to talk about these real estate agents, these YouTube real estate agents and property developers. Okay. I'm going to tell you the issues that I see with them from a professional perspective, the things that I see problematic. Okay. So that's what we're going to do. And because we don't know, like I said, these people aren't scammers until we can prove that they own land. We can't prove that. None of them own land. We know we know they don't own land. So we'll start with that. Probably, what's today? Saturday? I might have something before Wednesday because I don't have to go to work. I don't have to go to work. Y'all know I wish I could sing. I wish I could sing. I sing all the time. I wish I could sing. I wish I could sing. If I could sing, I'd be like K. Michelle. I would sing everything, everywhere, every time. I would just sing the show. So look, that's all I really have tonight. We talked about a lot. Contact the company. I'm going to contact the law firm with the questions I have. Tell me about your experience, because if they don't treat us right, we're going to come back and say, hey, don't talk to them. Don't contact that law firm. Don't contact any of them. So everybody who needs to talk to a lawyer, contact them. Emailing is for free. They got their cell phones on there, everything, okay? So I'll put that in the description also so we can have that. And that is all I have for you guys tonight. I'm going to have to get up because my phone is clear on the other side of the room. So you guys, oh, wait a minute. Places and spaces. I didn't even see you. Hold on. Let me put this one up here. I just seen Places and Spaces. I got to put her up here. She says, greetings, Kiki. Hello. Let me go back to it. Where is it? This is greetings, Kiki. This is great info for those purchasing or renting in the Gambia. Wouldn't make a move without yes. And I don't even know why we would think about well, I thought about it because I'm gonna tell y'all what I was thinking. I thought it was just like here. I thought, oh, I rent houses here all the time. Rent here. It's nothing. You just rent and give them the information and send. It's no big deal to rent. Nothing. So I'm thinking it's nothing to rent there. But no, you got to look out for the scam, y'all. You got to look out for the scam. You got to look out for the flim flam. You got to look out for all of that. And we don't even know the scam or the flim flam. So that's why you got to always, like Places and Spaces just said, you don't make this move. We're not doing this foolishness no more. We're not making moves to the Gambia. We're not buying property in the Gambia. We're not renting property in the Gambia anymore without contacting lawyers. That's the first thing. Okay? So everybody, let's reach out to this Soleil law firm. I'm going to email them. Miss Lonnie, you let me know what your experience was like with them. I'm going to see if I can reach out to them and ask them to explain that Lands Act to us. Okay, so we can get more information on that. But the middle of probably before maybe Tuesday, we can get some videos out of these people and I can tell you what's problematic with them. But I'm telling you what straight up what I can see is problematic with them. They're not transparent. These people are very they do things undercut covertly. Business people don't do things covertly. The military does, but not the business community. There's no covert operations in business. Nobody wants to do business with covert people. Business is about transparency. Good business is about transparency. Okay? So that's the main thing that I'm going to be looking for when I'm talking about these people. Are they transparent? Do they got good business practices? Okay? Because that's what we got to look at. That's what we really got to look at now. Do they have good business practices? Well, we know Miss Blackson, you know what? We know she don't have good business practices. Y'all know that. So if y'all want to keep going to a business with her, don't be mad at her when she yell at you and when she don't answer your phone call and when she quit talking to you. Don't be mad at her because you know that's how she is. You know she has terrible business practices. Okay? So that's what we're going to be looking for. Again, if we find out Miss Blacksett owns land and that she's truly doing, I can read the document, not a screenshot of something that's so far away that I can't even read the details. No, I got to have it where I can read it and see what it actually says. Okay. So that's all I have, people. I got to walk over here. It was nice hanging out with you guys tonight. And I will see everybody next week.